Hi, I'm NeKo with Open Labs, sitting here with Tom Linklater, VP of Sales. So we're going to be talking about the NeKo and the MeKo keyboard workstations. Now, the NeKo and the MeKo are all over music production right now.
Yeah.
Timbaland, Polo, Little John,
Right.
Jesse Carmichael with Maroon 5, Morris Hayes with Prince,
Right.
Jonathan Davis, Monkey from Korn, all using this gear, all loving this gear. What is it about the MeKo and the NeKo that's getting so much attention?
Well, you know, computer software is just a fact of life in music production performance today. To operate at the highest levels, you've got to have access to computer software, and it's just fundamental to the way of making modern music. And previously, the only way you could operate it is load up a computer, get controllers, sound cards, and try to make it all work together. A lot of technology issues involved with that. And we thought here at Open Labs that rather than taking a computer and trying to make a musical instrument out of it, that we would make a musical instrument and give it the power of a computer.
Yeah.
So what we did is we started with PC architecture, using fast processors, big hard drives, lots of RAM, running Windows operating system. It gave us the ability in an instrument environment to run just about any music production and performance software that will run on a PC.
So if you're a Pro Tools user or a Nuendo user, I
Sure.
can run those applications on this keyboard.
Sure. Now, obviously, key to a keyboard workstation capability is its DAW or sequencer, right? And typically, when you buy a keyboard, you get whatever sequencer you get with it. You might get some multi-track recording capability. That's it. That's why most people will run an external sequencer to drive their keyboard. So we wanted to make sure that if you want to run Pro Tools, you can do it. Hook up your M-Box or your 02 or 03 Digi rack or console. Boom, you're running Pro Tools natively on our machine. If you want to run Steinberg Cubase 4, you want to run Nuendo, Cakewalk Sonar, it's really unlimited. It's designed to work the way that you want to work it.
So the big advantage of using computer music, you know, creating music on a computer is you got plugins, you got virtual instruments, effects, mastering tools, things that make making music possible. What are the options here? I mean, virtual instruments, plugins, audio processing.
Okay. Well, the idea, it's interesting because there's a lot of misinformation about plugins in the industry today. There's lots of keyboards that say they'll support plugins. You find out there's 2 that were developed for a proprietary system. There's some rack mount devices, you know, there's 10 or 20 that are available because they had to be recoded for proprietary applications. And the idea with us is that since we run Windows XP natively, you're able to run anything that'll run on a PC. There's thousands of guys out there doing thousands of plugins, and they'll all run on this machine.
And since it's running on this machine, which is also a keyboard, so I can use this live.
Sure.
I can use the power of that live.
Right, and that was actually one of the major concerns when we first developed the product, because it's just about impossible to use virtual instruments live. You have to launch an application, you have to find a preset, you have to load that preset, play it, and if you're trying to toggle through sounds live, it's just about impossible. So we wanted that rock-solid capability, and one of the software packages that Open Labs developed is our Carson VST host. Carson appears as a virtual rack environment where you can take presets from all of your favorite plugins, you can load them up, organize them in the virtual rack environment, and you can simply toggle through those presets just like you would a sound bank. So whether you're working live or you're in the studio, you have access to those presets quickly, so you're minimizing the hassle of working with computer music.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second, because that brings up a question. All my sample libraries,
Right.
all the libraries everybody's been collecting over the last couple, X amount of years.
Sure. Decades.
Decades.
Right.
Things that become tools to us that we need, and we need to have access to, and we need a good sampler to run it. What's my option here?
Again, it's really your favorite. I mean, we've got guys that they like Contact, they like Giga Studio, they like Sample Tank, they like Yellow Tools. Depending on what you want to run, you can run it on here. Now, most of those are multi-format, so you can run your audio samples, you can run your Roland, your Korg, your Akai samples that are out there, and they'll all run on this machine as long as you've got you can work with the sampler that you like.
Okay, my other keyboards, legacy gear, things that are just collecting dust at this point.
Right.
They still exist. They're still here because of 1 or 2 or 3 patches that just live there. That
sure, your 808s and stuff like that.
Yeah, my 808, exactly.
Right.
Perfect example. How can I integrate that into this keyboard?
Well, one of the things that we try to do is to sort of give you an iPod capability with all of your sounds. So far we talked about our DAW, our virtual instrument, our samples. They're all in the box. Yeah, you still want access because everybody's got legacy keyboards, a bunch of sound modules in a rack that they haven't turned on in a while. But you're right, there's some killer sounds in there. You want access to them, just like you wanted access to your CDs with your iPod. So we developed another one of our packages from Open Labs is Mimic. It's our keyboard cloning software. And Mimic allows you to MIDI up to any MIDI device, any MIDI keyboard, any MIDI sound module, You fire up the Mimic software, and you simply tell it exactly what patch you want, the key span, the velocity layers, aftertouch information, and you press clone. Now, the MIDI, it sends MIDI commands, tells it to play that patch from left to right. You hook the audio up from the donor keyboard, either analog or digital, back into the NeKo or NeKo, and you're now sampling the machine. So at that point, you're capturing that patch as SFZ files, which then you can put in your favorite sample player, and now you've got it alongside every other instrument that you have in your sampler.
So this is a full production rig.
Oh yeah, it's a studio.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that being said, my question is regarding I/O, inputs and outputs, how I get audio in and out of the machine.
Sure. Well, everybody's got their favorite, right? And coming out of the box, the NeKo has the Delta 1010 I/O card in it, which gives us 8 analog ins and outs, plus a stereo SPDIF and word clock. But the beauty of it is that we have external FireWire and USB ports. So any type of I/O, including open PCI and PCIe slots, you can now port into the machine. For example, if you wanted to run a PreSonus FP10 or an Apogee Rosette 800, they have FireWire capabilities that can run directly into our machine. They become the I/O. Now, the best part about those also daisy chains. So you're talking about going up to 24 channels of I/O, which gives you the ability to configure our workstation for just about any application, live or in the studio, that you can really conceive.
All right, so this can evolve. So
Sure.
as technology evolves, as the artist evolves, how can I expand storage, power? How can I evolve this machine? What's my upgrade path?
Okay, well, from a storage standpoint, there's 4 drive bays in the machine. 2 are currently occupied. There's expansion capability for 2. Again, with external FireWire USB, I can run just about any type of size of external storage, even up to RAID arrays, depending on how secure you want your data. With regards to the hardware that's in there, certainly the drives are swappable, the processors are swappable, RAM's expandable, but more importantly, for every generation of product that we make, we also engineer an upgrade path for the previous generation. So for modest fee, you can bring your machine in, we can upgrade it with all new capabilities, so you're basically at the new generational level. But having said that, we've got some of the biggest producers in the world are still making great hits with their Generation 1 machines and loving it.
It's amazing. So if somebody goes and buys a NeKo or a NeKo, let's say, and the out-of-the-box experience, how can they start making music right away?
Okay. Well, what we've been talking about is so far is its ability to expand, and that's really the power of the machine.
Right.
To run whatever you want to evolve as a producer and a performer as new software and new capabilities come out. Normally, when you buy a regular keyboard, the sound set is what you get. You might be able to expand it with a couple of sound bank cards, but if you want more sounds, basically go out and buy another keyboard. But we wanted to make sure that out of the box you had an incredible experience. So our LX series comes with the Reaper DAW, which based on the processor and hard drive speeds that we have right now, we're running over 120 tracks at 24-bit, 48K. We're running over 160 plugins, all this at about 60% CPU usage. So it's incredible the amount of processing, real-time processing you do with the unit out of the box. Now, in addition to that, we provide over 60 instruments and effects that cover the whole range from pianos, organs, synths, brass, drums, everything that you need. And that's about 25 gigabytes worth of instrument and sample libraries, and that equates to 25,000 presets. So you could spend years before you ever got out of what we give you. But again, the power is it's all blue sky once you get it home, because it becomes your machine as you evolve it with your software and samples.
So this it's amazing. Let's recap.
Sure.
So this is a PC-based Windows operating system, which is optimized for digital audio.
Sure.
I can run any DAW, sequencer, sampler, virtual instrument, plug-in, anything that will run on Windows XP will run on this.
Right.
So it's wide open. I can play it live. I can use it to record audio. I can put all my favorite sample libraries in it, and I can clone my legacy gear.
Exactly.
So, and I can upgrade it so it's future-proof, right? And evolve with it. Is there anything it can't do?
Well, the important thing to remember is that there's a lot of technical solutions for computer music.
Yeah.
There's a lot of technology in this box, right? But the idea is it's not about the technology. It's actually minimizing the technology task loading of working with computer music. The idea is to sort of simplify and tame all that capability, bring all your sounds in there, so you can focus on creativity. You can focus on that idea in your head. You can capture that in our machine very easily, but with the power and the capability that computer music gives you. And that's really what it's all about. The software that we've developed for it, the Open Lab suite of software, is there to maximize the workflow and allow you to focus on being creative. And that's really the key, because technology for technology's sake makes no sense. But when we can harness it to work for us instead of us working for it, then we're making more music, we're making better music.
So people out there who want to learn more about this keyboard and get more involved with it,
well, sure.
Where can they find more information?
We've covered a lot here today, and there's a lot of depth in the machine. And so on openlabs.com, you'll be able to find overviews on some of the key software packages we've developed, some of the I/O and other features on there. But in addition, we've got some tutorials and also artist videos who talk about how using Open Labs gear changed the way they make music for a living.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you. Open Labs, NeKo and NeKo. Tom Linklater. I'm NeKo Tool. Thanks.
You.